All right, Jake. So, I'm a huge Destiny guy.
I know you are.
Yeah, that's my jam
Yeah,
right
you
there.
are.
Destiny is like my forever game. Not, honestly, if somebody looked at my brain was like, I want to make a game for Zan.
It'd be Destiny something, whatever.
It'd be Destiny. If Destiny had a fighting game inside of it, I would not ever play anything else.
You'd probably quit your job. Jesus. If you guys don't know Zan, Zan thinks Destiny is also destined for esports, which is another topic.
I don't know that I think it's actually destined for esports. I just want my favorite game to also be an esport.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what you got for Destiny? It was a big week for Destiny.
Yeah, it is
almost too big.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm about to talk about. It was too big for a little bit. So for those of you who don't know, there's several changes that happened in Destiny this week. First of all, they launched a free-to-play version with so much content. Like, God, if I gave you the free-to-play version of Destiny right now, it would probably take you until the end of the year to finish all that content.
And I would probably greatly enjoy it.
Yeah,
is that on Steam?
It is on Steam now.
Okay.
Yes. They launched the free-to-play version of the game, and they launched a new expansion called Shadowkeep. They also migrated all of their players from Battle.net to Steam, and, huge undertaking. And this all happened at the same time on Tuesday, and, of course, they got hammered by hundreds of thousands of people trying to play all at the same time.
They got hammered, yes.
Yeah, real bad. One of their highest concurrent player numbers ever, which is great for them, but it did kind of take the game down. They had to take the servers down for several hours, and they still had problems even after they came back up. Like, I know I was trying to play Tuesday night, and none of my guns would show up on the screen.
Which is a vital point of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to shoot things if you can't see the reticle that kind of says, hey, this is where the bullet is going.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kotaku actually reached out to a bunch of game developers, and just to get like a feel for, hey, what actually happens when servers go down like this? Because usually the perception in the gaming community is that, obviously they just didn't buy enough servers, or they didn't properly take into account, this is how many people we expect to have, right? Like it's
a great question, because you wonder why it happens so often.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
almost like every game can't prepare for the rush they're about to get.
And like if you know a lot about server architecture, like it becomes really clear like pretty quickly that it's kind of impossible to actually prepare yourself for, like, say 200,000 people all doing one action at the same time. You don't really know how that's going to affect your code until it actually happens in real life.
Yeah.
So, you got to kind of take it one step at a time. But what I really did enjoy about this article is a couple game developers gave what I think is probably the best, most easily understandable explanation of exactly how all this stuff works. So, I'm going to read out a couple general quotes just because I think they are really useful comparisons, right? So Rami Ismail is a indie game dev, and he said the problem can be a lack of servers, which is essentially a lack of computers needed to handle all the players trying to connect or follow. If we're going to use a train station as a metaphor here,
let's do it.
That's what they did. Because I
used to love trains as a kid.
I feel like everybody knows what trains are. People know how trains
most
work.
People, back in our day, I've been on a train or two.
Yeah. Those were my favorite parts of being in Europe. Their public transit system was so great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But anyway, so there's one situation where you can imagine a train station where there's not enough tracks and too many trains, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you have a lack of servers, right? But it could also be, so the players themselves on their console or their PC are sending way too much data to the servers. And so it winds up in a situation where there's a station where there's a lot of tracks, but an unexpected number of trains on the tracks themselves, right? Causing like a little bit of a bottleneck. Or it could be the code slowing down how the data is processed, like a station where there's both enough tracks and trains, but every passenger has to fill out a form on the way out of the train. So it kind of
slows things down a bit.
Yeah. Paperwork takes a bit of time. Yeah. Or it could be entirely third party, and the devs don't really have much impact there. Where, say, the trains are supposed to be coming from your sister station, but they just aren't, for whatever reason, and so there's a bunch of people backed up on your station, and apparently, according to a bunch of developers, it's usually not a lack of servers, which is interesting, because the number one thing people always say is, it's just not enough servers, right? But yeah, it's usually, just like I said earlier, problems that you can't detect because they're operating at such a scale you can't predict it to a certain extent. One of the developers who worked on Uncharted 3, he pushed their multiplayer suite live. He was saying that, hey, what it looked like to the end user was really long matchmaking times. But the game code would form a match, and then some of the people wouldn't be able to directly connect to each other, actually. And then the match would be forced to dissolve in the back end. But the players wouldn't see that, so it would just look like you're just loading forever.
Interesting.
He said, and he gave another great metaphor. He said it's like Google Maps on your phone giving you bad directions, and then realizing the reason is, oh, I've got faulty electrical wiring in my house.
Didn't follow that one bit.
See, they seem like two entirely disparate problems, right? Obviously, why would the electrical wiring in your house have anything to do with why Google Maps isn't working?
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's exactly what the problems wind up being half the time. Like,
this seems like a lot of excuses of just like,
it makes
okay,
a lot of sense.
I don't know about that, man.
It
It seems like a lot of ways to say we couldn't handle it.
I don't think it's a problem that is handleable ahead of time. It's something you can prepare for.
But here's the thing, man, because some games do prepare very well and just do just fine. Some games have a lot of players hit it and it works. So why does it work sometimes and not others?
I think it's
bad prep.
To a certain. I don't think it's bad prep so much as bad luck.
It's a scapegoat to say like, oh, we got unlucky. Like, oh man, there was too many trains. Like
just based on the way code works, right? You could very easily just have something that works. Technically speaking, your code can be fine. Right, like say if I write a piece of code that says, okay, the sky is blue. Obviously, we all know the sky is blue. There's no reason why saying the sky is blue should be a problem. But imagine all of a sudden you have 200,000 people reading the line of code that says, oh, the sky is blue, and all of a sudden there's another piece of code that says, oh, hey, because so many people are hammering at the sky trying to see the sky being blue, then oh no, the sky is broken now.
Do you realize what you're putting our listeners through? Like, do you like?
I know you're
speaking in riddle for the past
really
10 minutes. You've been speaking in a riddle.
It's really hard to describe, and like I know I'm probably not doing the best job, but it's hard to describe without getting like super technical into like I could talk from like the SSL standpoint,
which
that
I'm like, what you mean SNL? Like I don't know what
that wouldn't
make
any sense whatsoever.
I thought the more important point, besides the fact that okay, servers went down, we see this all the time. I really don't, it doesn't really affect me that much. I thought it was actually still a great, just a great thing in general for Destiny.
Yeah, I agree, and they were able to get the servers up so fast.
Like going back to Steam, great thing for the future of the game. The free to play option for the part of the game as well. I like the move. It makes me almost want to try out the game myself.
You definitely should.
If there wasn't so much else out there too. And so besides the whole server issue, obviously got it fixed, right? Corrected?
Right. Yeah, totally fine. Taken care of within a day.
Destiny 3 timeline. Is there one?
Kind of no, actually. They're in their last ViDoc. They said they kind of have a 5-year plan for Destiny 2. And
really? Okay.
They talked about they've got an entire line of content already plotted out for the next couple of years. They talked about wanting to make it so that a big problem people have always had with Destiny, Destiny both 1 and 2, has been the way the story has been presented. A lot of people never really loved it. They're talking a lot more about, hey, how can we fix that? How can we make it so that every single season you come back to Destiny, the story connects and it all makes sense and you're getting a very clear picture. Yeah, right.
Which I mean, it's a very extensive story, I'm sure, but
yeah, there's a lot of lore.
Either way, by the time Destiny 3 hits, the servers hopefully will work.
I mean, honestly,
they got some time.
Honestly, I think you kind of can't plan for it. You kind of can't.
Christ.
You honestly can't.
The riddles.
I would say it's not. Think about it. It's not bad luck on the part of developers that have the servers go down. More good luck on the part of developers that don't.
All right, fair enough. We'll end it on that. Servers coming back. Servers are back. That's all that matters.
Yeah, servers come back.